Hello, Gemini. Thank you for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Already shuffled. Let's see what we got. All right. Wow. These things seem to be matching, but it seems like there's a lot there's a lot going on here. But there's definitely not an overall energy. It seems like even though there's a lot happening emotionally on each side, there's just minimal things happening between you and whoever you're dealing with. And I think that'll make more sense here as we go along. Because the situation, there's something that's starting here. There's the Ace of Pentacles here. Something is cementing in. This is more like buying a house, starting a new job. For some people, I can see where this can be like a. No, I feel like it's something along those lines. Something that's cementing itself in that you realize it's gonna be like this for a long while. There's not like you're committed to it. You're starting it, and it's not gonna move on easily or anytime soon. Now, the other side is very hopeful about this start, and you have the Page of Cups. You have the Page of Cups here, which to me says that you like it, you're favorable towards it. You're not, blown over by the whole situation, but you like it. You definitely do like it, and you are enjoying it. Okay. So if it's one of those two I said, there's definitely other circumstances this could match to with a general read. For example, if you're starting a job, you're excited about the new job, but it's still a job. It's still a job. It's not like it's the perfect job on the planet, but you're still excited and happy to have it. And if it's like the home thing, I feel like, I don't know, you're happy to have a home, you're happy for the place, you like it, you enjoy it. If it's like your end game where you want to live for the rest of your life, maybe not so much, but you still like it, you enjoy it, you see the potential there. Okay. Now, whatever it is you're getting into, you're researching it because you're getting more information, but this is in the realm of like changing that Page of Cups into a more lucrative, more exciting opportunity. Like you're looking to upgrade the situation. You're looking to make it better. So whatever way this might be hitting or some other way, you're gathering information to make this more enjoyable, more likable to you. And you're very active with the King of Swords. You're out there getting information. You're very chatty about gathering information. You're very good at it. One of the gifts of a Gemini is that sometimes they can ask questions. To other people, the questions seem unrelated, but to you it makes perfect sense about what the puzzle is you're piecing together. So for other people, they might be like, they might just look at you like you have two heads because they don't understand why you're asking certain questions, but you know what you're doing and you know what you're creating here. So that's, for right now, that's what's important. But it's funny because the other side seems to be trying to understand. I feel like wherever these questions are landing, whoever you're talking to, because I feel with the King of Swords, you're very aggressive about getting questions answered. You're very talkative. The other side's trying to understand what you're doing. They're trying to understand why. Like, this is an interesting thing because I feel like the other side is trying to control where you're going with it, but they don't understand the questions or why you're asking questions, so they can't really do that. Again, I feel like that's another gift of a Gemini. If the other person doesn't know what you're actually going for, they can't manipulate it. So you're throwing questions out here or there that to them they don't understand where you're going with it, but it's not for them to understand at this point. You're gathering information for you to like the situation better. It's just throwing the other side off. I feel like they're trying to understand where you're coming from. That's the Two of Pentacles. They're trying to cement down, like trying to nail down what you're getting at, where you're going. And at this point, you're just trying to make it more enjoyable for you. It's not a good nor bad thing. Now, they're having an issue with this, though, because they want to control where you're going with it. I feel like there's a control issue on the other side here. Because they seem to come back towards you with the Knight of Swords. Like, I feel like this is them trying to take over the conversation, trying to take over the questions, and they're trying to rebuke you or push you back. And just, they're trying to stop you from asking too many questions, because I feel like they're looking at it like they want you to do certain things, and they don't want you moving things around. And I feel like they've come to a part where they don't want the questions anymore. They don't want you making a decision about the situation. They want to make the decisions. So I feel like they're pushing back with the Knight of Swords, where they're trying to stop you. They're trying to stop you from asking questions because they don't want you changing things. Which I'm getting, like, on your side you have the Hierophant. I don't feel like you're down and out. I feel like you're able to handle this, because you're just kind of, you're holding back, and the Hierophant on your side at this point, you've gotten enough information to, like, start thinking things through. So I feel like you've gotten enough to work with. So the gift is in your hand in the sense of, like, you've got enough information to do something with it. The Whip on the other side, the pain, I feel like that's the other side getting aggravated with you. That's not really to your liking, but you're balancing it out. You're like, I have enough, and I see that they're getting a little aggravated. I feel like you're taking value in that too, because they're pushing back. You're realizing, like, how much wiggle room you have because of the reaction you're getting. Good? Okay. And between the two of you, you have the Moon. I don't feel like they're upset with you. They just want the control, and they're worried that you're going to kind of usurp some of that control for yourself, and they don't want that. That's what they're worried about. They still look at you favorably. And I don't feel like you're trying to take over the situation. You're just trying to mold it a little more to your liking. I feel like they're having, like, they're just feeling challenged. I feel like that's the thing. This part where they push back, this happens sooner than you expect. I feel like you don't ask questions for long before you get this pushback. Could even be in the same conversation, just so you know. Now, how they pushed back, I do feel like they're going to regret that. Because I'm getting the Three of Swords. I feel like they got a little upset, a little defensive, and I feel like they regret that I feel like they kind of bit your head off maybe a little bit. And I feel like they're regretting that after the fact. And one of the reasons they're kind of regretting that is because I feel like you're holding back a little bit. You're not asking these questions. You're kind of just holding back, pulling back from them a little bit, which is the Ten of Wands on your side. Like, it's a little stressful. And I feel like when I see that Ten of Wands, I'm feeling like that's somebody hiding behind those sticks. Like, you know, all right, I'll just sit it out for a minute, let them cool down, I'll give it a break. I feel like that's your reaction. Like, I'll just give it a break for now, it's fine. Situation's a little uncomfortable right now because they got upset with me. And I feel like they feel bad about that. I do feel like they feel bad about that. And I feel like you're just kind of holding back because you're like, you know what, I can give it a rest for a minute, that's fine. Now, as you're kind of going a little dormant with the questions, I feel like they're pushing forward again. The other side's pushing forward again. So whatever arena this is in, this is the next stage of that process, whatever you're doing. So for example, if it's the work situation, I feel like they're pushing you in a direction that they want you to do certain things. If it's the home, for example, I feel like it's like either furnishings or somehow cementing something else in. I feel like it might be a related purchase if it's the house thing. But the other side seems to be going forward very optimistically. They're just trying to move on from this moment. And they're pushing forward with something they want. I feel like they were thinking about the whole time anyway that you might not have been aware of. All right, so exactly how does that hit? This is one of the reasons, I feel like this is one of the reasons they got a little touchy about you asking so many questions and they started pushing back, which happened a lot sooner than you expected. They weren't telling you about some other plans that they had. And then with the way they snap back at you, they're thinking they might have damaged the situation, and they feel bad that they did that. That I feel like they're looking back on it like that they could have handled that better. But they still go forward with something they were planning anyway, and they're pushing this situation forward to the next level. I feel like this fool on their side, you didn't see this coming. You didn't realize that this was a part of the plan. And when this comes forward, I don't feel like you like this right off the bat. Because I get the Nine of Swords, like you didn't realize that this was where this was going. And the reason the Nine of Swords is here though is because the information that you were pooling, you were starting to go in a different direction than this is actually going. And it's like things that you're starting to get excited about you can't do now because of this. And that's why you have the Nine of Swords, because the information you gathered, the way you were going to possibly make this more to your liking, I just feel like all of that went right out the window when the other person pushed forward on this, whatever they decided to do. I just feel like that negated everything you were considering. That's why you have the Nine of Swords. That's why you're kind of disappointed, I should say. But you compromise. But this is face down. This was face down. I'm getting that you don't have to give up everything. I don't feel like it's your way or the other person's way. I feel like you could still negotiate to get some of what you wanted. And I think I'm going to have to go over the whole thing real quick after, but I'm feeling if the two of you come together, the Queen of Wands, this is the energy of the two of you coming together, and I feel like there's another person here. Working together, actively working together, and you're ready, I'm feeling like this can go more to your liking. I feel like that's the whole point of this, because I feel like the other side will work with you. This moment where they pushed back and they feel a little bad about how they did that I feel like it's a bargaining chip, for better or for worse. I feel like that's a bargaining chip, because they're going to be more conducive to making it up to you. You can get some of what you wanted. You can definitely get some of this stuff that you wanted, that you feel disappointed that you can't have. The compromise was face down, which tells me you're not seeing it off the bat. They're saying you can have some of what you wanted. You can. You don't have to be completely disappointed. You don't have to be. You don't have to settle for that. Because the other side will meet you halfway. The Queen of Wands is telling me this is an active energy. This is a caring, considerate energy, considering the other side. And I feel like they'll work with you, and you're ready. Like, this can go a lot better than you expect. This can go a lot better than you expect. You can get part of what you wanted, which would make a big difference to you, is what I feel. All right. Well, I don't know if I can, nutshell this, but I'll see if I can. So the situation you're getting involved in is something that's going to stick in your life for a while. And you do like it going in, but you'd like to change some things, and you're gathering that information. The other side seems a little bit at odds with it because they have other ideas that you're not aware of. They haven't shared that with you. So they push back. I feel like they kind of bite your head off is kind of what I'm feeling. You kind of accept that for what it is, but you still have enough information to start formulating thoughts of your own. Other side regrets biting your head off. But you hold back and you kind of quiet down. You keep your questions to yourself just to get along. And then at the end, I feel like this other side here pushes forth what they wanted, which you didn't see coming. Which, at first, I feel like your gut reaction is like everything you were considering is just thrown out the window. But the advice here, I feel like the whole point of this reading is everything you were considering does not have to go out the window. You can compromise it out. You can get some of what you want. Come together with the other side, have that conversation. You're ready in the sense of you can make this more to your liking. You might as well make it something enjoyable for you too. Even though you won't get exactly everything you wanted, I feel like even with the negotiation, you can pull out more opportunities, and this situation can be a lot more to your liking than you were expecting, a lot more. So I feel like this, don't give up, voice what you're thinking, get what you want. Don't give up, get what you want. I think that's what I'm thinking. Get part of what you want. At least. You might get more than part, I have a feeling here, because, again, communication and thinking things through in many different levels at once is the gift of a Gemini. And I'm thinking, even when you're going through the negotiation, you're going to unearth other possibilities. You're going to make this a lot more to your liking than you expected it. It's just going to meld into what the other person's already doing. It's going to lock in better. So they're saying just make sure you have that conversation. Go for what you want. Give it the shot. Like, it's a conversation. Why not? Correct? Good. All right, we're good? All right. Thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap that up here. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.